Been here all my life on this same farm.
Larry Barber's been around Johnston County a while.
Born in Smithfield, 1940. I'm an old model.
After 8 decades, he's seen a lot of change.
I've heard 2 or 3 times this week on the radio, Johnston County is the fastest growing housing development. I feel like I used to have tobacco and somebody got a house in it now.
One thing that hasn't changed, Barber's passion for farming and Farm Bureau. His father first introduced him at the early age of 8.
Well, it's the only organization that was really representing the farmers and trying to get a better living for the farmers and all.
Barber always advocated for farmers, especially when it came to North Carolina's #1 cash crop.
One of the things that I got involved in was the tobacco. I went on the tobacco committee very young, and early, and that's how I got to know Farm Bureau people from working on the tobacco committee.
Barber became a leader in his field.
Anything that I thought would help me get farther along and help organization.
It led to a seat on the county board. In the 1980s, he became county president. Then he began his 35-year service on the state board. All the time, his mission clear: fight for tobacco farmers.
We worked to try to get our price up to where we could make a living at it. That's what built eastern North Carolina, was tobacco.
Then came the tobacco buyout.
Tobacco's gone. We don't have any tobacco on our farm now.
But the Barber farm lives on through family and friends.
Rented out 90 acres for a fellow. He's planted potatoes on it this year. And that's what both grandson and son, they both solve operations where there used to be tobacco operations. Grandson and son says ours is not for sale. It ain't for sale as long as I'm living.
Farming is good.
Elton Braswell learned all about farm life at an early age.
Started probably milking a cow when I was 6 years old.
Braswell grew up on his parents' dairy farm in Union County. He still lives near the property, across from the long empty parlor, across from the land his family still uses for agriculture purposes.
Corn, small grain, wheat, things like that.
Keeping the farm active is important to Braswell.
Union County is losing a lot of agricultural land all around. Anywhere you go, they're building housing developments.
That's just one reason he joined and remains active in Farm Bureau.
Commodity crops and so forth, and being on dairy committees and what have you. It was to my benefit to get things changed if we could, and try to be able to make a living. Agriculture is one of the most important things for everybody. We all want to eat and have good food at a reasonable price. So we have to make a living. We want to, make a profit so we can survive.
Braswell's advocacy started decades ago. For 50 years, he served on Union County's board of directors, and more than 30 of those years, he also served on the state board.
Got on the executive committee and moved on up to vice president.
He retired from the state board in 2012, opening the way for younger farmers to join and continue the fight.
The future of farm really is necessary. We need to keep the people informed of what we got to have to be able to survive on the farm, produce the food for the people. I encourage any young farmer to get involved with it because you got the program, they can learn from it and help with their ideas too.
We moved back to the farm here in 1968.
Since then, Pete Burgess has done everything possible to help agriculture succeed in Vance County. He quickly joined Farm Bureau, and it didn't take long to earn his seat on the county board.
Some of the farmers that I knew wanted me on there, so they said, come on, give it a try. You might like it. And I did, and I liked it.
What did you like about it?
Well, just the camaraderie with the rest of the farmers that was on the board.
It's his work with the board that led to a key project in his community.
One of the things that the local county and I put together was this farmers market here in Vance County. And it is a first-class farmers market. It took us about 10 years to find the money, get it built, get it up and running, but it's doing well. There's 18 spaces around inside the building. And it's an enclosed building, insulated. It can be used summer, winter. I think the County Farm Bureau Board meets there every month.
There's an on-site classroom, a true tribute to Burgess, dedicated in his honor for his agriculture support. It's used for educational programs, another important issue for him.
One of the things I got involved from the beginning was this ag in the classroom. I think they use Vance and Wake County. There's two counties, the pilot counties, so that's where it got started. All kids need to know something about agriculture, and there's not too many kids really close to it anymore.
3 decades on the state board was a learning experience for Burgess himself.
It gave me an opportunity to go to a lot of places and do a lot of things that I would never have had a chance to do otherwise. I had a chance to learn about a lot of things, see how things work, maybe have a little input on how things developed. I love being on that state board.
I was probably in high school. I had a little tobacco crop, a half an acre, a 3/4 acre. At the end of the year, my dad told me, he said, I need to collect $2 or $3. And I said, for what? You need to join Farm Bureau. The farmers got to stick together. I said, well, okay. So ever since then, I've been a Farm Bureau member.
According to Rockingham County's J.M. Wright, it was the late 1940s when he first learned about the importance of Farm Bureau.
Back then, when they first started memberships, we didn't have insurance. Each community had a person that would write memberships for the county. That's the way I got started.
His involvement started with county annual meetings.
We met at Wentworth School right here and had Brunswick stew, and I remember the first president presided over that meeting that day.
Wright eventually became county president himself, a position he held for more than 40 years, a time when membership numbers jumped and the need for office space increased.
I think that really helped the county when we opened those offices, because everybody had to come into regional to pay the bills or pay the insurance, and that really helped when we opened the Madison office and as well as the Eden office.
The home office in Reedsville is also new.
The county was responsible. They saw the need and voted to go ahead with it.
Wright knows Farm Bureau is more than buildings.
There are so many problems in agriculture, and you think you might have a role in helping get some of these problems solved.
And through his service, both in the county and the state, he worked to help farmers during some of the industry's toughest times.
I think the tobacco buyout and the dairy buyout, maybe help some of the small farms get out or survive.
At the end of the day, that's what he wants the legacy of Farm Bureau to be: farmers helping farmers.
It's as important now as it ever was. We need to stick together, be organized to have one voice in agriculture.